If I told you there was one exercise that could eliminate 95% of bicep tendonitis in minutes, you'd probably think I was lying. But after treating over 1,000 bicep tendonitis cases, I discovered something that will shock you. The exercise I'm about to show you isn't some secret technique. It's been hiding in plain sight, but no one is teaching it correctly, and that's why your bicep pain keeps coming back. What makes this even more incredible, you can test it right now and feel immediate improvement. But here's the catch. Everything you've been told about bicep tendonitis is wrong. I'm Dr. Seyforth, physical therapist and online rehab specialist with Comeback Performance, where we help active adults eliminate shoulder pain through our one-on-one online coaching program. Today, I'm going to expose the hidden truth about bicep tendonitis that the medical system doesn't want you to know and give you the one exercise that fixes almost every bicep tendonitis problem. Let me start with what most people think fixes bicep tendonitis. Rest, ice, and those basic bicep stretches that every doctor and PT hands out. Here's what happens. You rest for weeks, the pain comes back the moment you return to activity, you ice religiously, you get temporary relief that never lasts. You stretch your bicep until you can feel it in your toes, but you still can't lift without pain. The reason these approaches fail is simple. They're treating the spot that hurts, not the root cause creating the pain. It's like trying to fix a cracked windshield by putting tape on the crack. You're managing the problem, not solving it. Traditional healthcare completely misses the major player in bicep tendonitis. They look at your bicep, they test your bicep tendon, they examine the front of the shoulder, but they completely ignore the foundation your bicep depends on, your shoulder blade. Here's the hidden truth that traditional healthcare does not want you to know. 95% of bicep tendonitis isn't actually bicep tendonitis. It's shoulder blade dysfunction creating bicep overload. Your bicep tendon attaches directly to your shoulder blade. If the shoulder blade isn't moving correctly, your bicep tendon gets stretched, compressed, and irritated with every movement. Think of it like a guitar string. If the pegs at the end are out of position, the string gets tension and eventually snaps. Think about it. When you go to the doctor for bicep pain, what do they test? They test your bicep, they give you bicep stretches, they inject your bicep tendon, they even operate on your bicep, but they never address the mechanics of where your bicep actually lives and moves from. This is why people get stuck in the treatment hamster wheel for months and years. You're working on the wrong area. The shoulder blade controls how your bicep tendon is positioned, tensioned, and loaded. When it's not working correctly, your bicep tendon pays the price. Let me show you exactly what's happening using this shoulder model, because once you see this, everything else will make perfect sense. Your bicep tendon attaches right here at the top of your shoulder blade. When your shoulder blade is positioned correctly and can move properly, your bicep tendon sits in a nice, comfortable position and optimal tension. But here's what happens with most people. When the shoulder blade can't posteriorly tilt or rotate properly upward, watch this. The bicep tendon gets pulled taut, compressed against the bone, and irritated with every single rep. This is why typical treatments fail. You can rest the bicep, ice it, and stretch it, but if the shoulder blade can't move properly, the moment you return to activity, that bicep tendon gets overloaded again. Now here's the incredible part. There's one exercise that specifically trains the shoulder blade to move into a posterior tilt and upward rotation, which immediately offloads the bicep tendon. After analyzing over 1,000 bicep tendonitis cases, I discovered this exercise addresses 95% of bicep tendonitis problems. Before I reveal this game-changing exercise, let's test your current bicep function. I'm going to show you the speeds test, the gold standard for bicep tendonitis assessment. Raise your arm straight out in front of you towards the ceiling with your thumb pointing up. Then you're going to press down on your arm while you resist. Notice exactly where you feel pain or discomfort in the front of the shoulder. Remember this feeling and position. We're going to test this in just a few minutes after we train your shoulder blade to achieve that optimal position that offloads your bicep tendon. I know you're struggling with shoulder pain and you obviously want to fix it, so text me the word pain to 720-710-4371 and I'll send you my free shoulder pain fix demo. Now back to the show. This exercise that fixes 95% of bicep tendonitis is called banded scap angels, but not the way most people do it. This is the only exercise that simultaneously trains the posterior tilt and upward rotation that your bicep tendon depends on for pain-free function. Anchor a resistance band in front of you at shoulder height. Grab the band with both hands and start with your elbows extended out in front. Now here's the key, and this is where most people go wrong. Pull the band back by extending your elbows, then move into an angel motion, bringing your arms out to the side and ending with your bicep by your ears. The magic happens in that final position. As you raise your arms overhead, focus on two critical things. First, feel your shoulder blades tilting posteriorly. That's the back of your shoulder blades moving towards your spine. This immediately creates space for your bicep tendon. Second, feel your shoulder blades rotating upward as your arms go higher. You're training that critical scapular upward rotation that clears space so your bicep doesn't get impinged or compressed. Complete 2 sets of 10, slow, controlled reps as you retrain how the shoulder and shoulder blade move together. After completing those, let's retest your bicep function using the same speeds test. Raise your arm straight out towards the ceiling with your thumb pointing up, the exact same position we did before the exercise. Then you're going to press down. Notice the difference? You should immediately feel decreased pain, less restriction, and that your arm feels lighter and more comfortable in that position. That's your bicep tendon being properly supported by optimal shoulder blade mechanics. If you felt even a 10% improvement, you just experienced what happens when you address the foundation instead of just the symptom. Your bicep wasn't the problem. Your shoulder blade positioning was the problem. Here's why this one exercise fixes 95% of bicep tendonitis when multiple other treatments fail. It's the only exercise that specifically trains the posterior tilt and upper rotation that your bicep tendon requires for optimal positioning. When your shoulder blade can tilt and rotate properly, your bicep tendon sits in ideal position with perfect tension, not overstretching, not compressing, and not causing that irritation. Traditional bicep treatments completely ignore the shoulder blade foundation. They're trying to heal a tendon while the mechanics that control the tendon are still dysfunctional. It's like trying to fix a broken guitar string without adjusting the tuning pegs. This exercise addresses both the shoulder and shoulder blade components of my Big 5 system simultaneously. When you restore proper shoulder blade mechanics, your bicep becomes a normal muscle again instead of a compensatory overworked structure. Now you might be wondering, what about the 5% of bicep tendonitis cases that it doesn't fix? These are cases involving complete bicep tendon ruptures, severe structural damage, or cases where the tendon has been irritated for years without proper mechanical correction. But here's what's incredible. Even in those cases, restoring proper shoulder blade mechanics dramatically improves function and reduces pain. This foundation principle applies to everyone, even post-surgery. The truth is, your bicep tendonitis isn't a bicep problem. It's a shoulder blade foundation problem. When you restore that critical posterior tilt and upward rotation, your bicep tendon returns to its optimal position and the irritation disappears. This one exercise gives you immediate proof that your shoulder blade is the key, but it is not the complete solution. True bicep tendonitis requires systematically addressing all the factors that prevent optimal shoulder blade mechanics and building the strength to maintain it under load. If the banded Scap Angels improved your speeds test and proved that your shoulder blade foundation was the missing piece, and you're ready for the complete system that permanently relieves shoulder pain and bulletproofs it, then text me the word pain to 720-710-4371 to get a tailored step-by-step approach on how to permanently fix your shoulder pain. Our mission at Comeback Performance is to help over 1 million people around the world eliminate their shoulder pain, avoid unnecessary imaging, injections, and surgeries, and get their lives back. After you reach out, please like and subscribe to the channel. We're putting out daily content based on your guys' questions on shoulder-related topics regarding pain and rehab. At Comeback Performance, the comeback is always stronger than the setback.